Hello, I'm Kelly Geloff from Rehoboth Beach here at WBOC's Historic Studio D. You're watching Delmarva Life.
Well, it's great to have Kelly in with us today, and it kind of changes your attitude before you look at somebody and say, you want to bet? Got to think about that. Well, right between Cambridge and Easton, you're going to find the town of Trapp, and you're also going to find the Rural Life Museum displaying historical items once used in homes, businesses, and on the farms in the area. It's also where you'll find Delmarva Life's Brian Spiros this afternoon. Brian?
Well, Jimmy, the museum sits right off of Route 50 in Trapp on Backtown Road. In 2006, locals actually got the ball rolling with opening the museum. However, it's an idea that's been around for decades. And joining me now to talk all about it is Charles Adams, Jr., who is the head of the board of directors for the museum. So the first thing we're going to do actually is we're going to show a picture of your father and your mother because he's instrumental in all of this. Throughout the course of his life, you said that your father would often look at you and say, son, there ought to be a museum around here. Wise words spoken. It's now a reality. How did it all happen?
Well, that's right. Many times my dad said, son, there ought to be a museum here. And like you say, it was in 2006 with the help of many interested volunteers of the area. We had our organizational meeting. We had an attorney that worked for no cost to get us incorporated, a nonprofit corporation, registered with the state of Maryland, and we were off. And the first project was to restore this building where we're standing right now. It was given to us by Cynthia Miles of Foxhall Incorporated, and we restored this building with the help of many volunteers.
And we should mention that there's 4 structures on the property. Right. This is the main one we're in, and people can see stuff inside. If you had to sum up what basically people would see when they come here, what would it be?
Well, it really boils down to our slogan, which is building our future by preserving our past. And we have displayed here things of the past, and by the past I mean back in the 30s and 20s and 30s and 40s, 50s and 60s.
So stuff that has certainly been around for a long time.
On the farms and in the canneries.
And all over. So, and we're actually going to take a look at some of that stuff now. I'm going to go over here to Carol Lang, who is the curator of the museum. So the first thing, the house that we're in right now, where did it come from?
We don't really know. It was moved here at some point. We're on the site of a cannery. Mm-hmm. And so whether it had anything to do with the cannery or not, we're not sure.
You don't know. But anyways, it is here. There's a lot of great stuff inside here in all of the structures. We're just going to talk about a few of them. First thing we should mention is that all the stuff in here was donated by locals.
Yes.
So really it has that local feel. The first thing is this blue board here, which I'm going to have my cameraman get a video of. Tell us about some of the people who are on here.
The people across the top date back to Revolutionary War times. John Dickinson, who helped write some of the documents of the time, 2 very early governors. And then if you move down toward the center, you'll see Nace Hopkins, who was a slave and became the leader of his people following the Civil War in which he fought and later, as I said, became the leader of his people. You also have Home Run Baker, who grew up here in this town, lived in this town all his whole life, and was very much a part of everything, but he loved to play baseball.
And you guys have a whole display to him in here, aside from just this one picture.
The other end of the room is all a display of Home Run Baker. But he did make it to the Hall of Fame. And I think somebody coming from Trapp, that's a pretty big achievement.
That is a big deal. And then speaking of people coming from Trapp, real quick, there's a famous actor.
Yeah, James Michener, who did own a home here and lived here for quite a few years.
So obviously a lot of notable residents. There's just a couple things we want to talk about. First of all, these desks here, they're very interesting. Tell us a little bit about them.
They're from old schools in this area. And this is the way children sat in school. You sat in the seat behind the desk you used.
So very close.
And then you'll see in the rear one there is a hole which was an inkwell. So this dates prior to ballpoint pens and this type of thing.
Obviously the pencils we're used to today. And then also this trophy up here, which is interesting. Tell us about that.
Well, there used to be a school here, both elementary and high school. The school went out of existence in 1944, But in 1916, we won the state championship in baseball. And so the trophy comes from that. The picture in the case is a picture of the team. And then above that, we have one of the largest diplomas I've ever seen. Dates from the late 1800s.
So a lot of great stuff in here for people to look at, and there are obviously stories that come along with them. So thank you for letting us come in today, and there's a lot more where this come from. We appreciate it. And we should mention this time of year the museum is only open by appointment. They will reopen for tours to the public for anyone just coming up in the springtime. And for all of that information, all you have to do is go to our website, delmarvalife.com, click on the show tab. We'll have it all there for you. So Jimmy, a lot of great stuff here inside the Rural Museum in Trapp. People should definitely come on by and take a look inside. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
That does look pretty incredible. Thanks, Brian. Well, still to come on Delmarva Life, when it comes to wedding cakes, there's so many colors, shapes, sizes, themes, flavors. How do you know what's in? How do you know what's out? Well, we're in the kitchen next to find out. But first, you ever find yourself tossing and turning at night? Dr. Oz says the culprit may not be what you think.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. You may think it's stress that's keeping you up, but for women, it's often hormones. In your late 30s and early 40s, melatonin levels have decreased. Eat melatonin-rich foods like oatmeal, brown rice, walnuts, and bananas. By your 50s, estrogen and progesterone levels spike, which wrecks sleep. A low-fat, plant-based diet can help.